Welcome to my channel Mintage Mysteries, where every coin has a hidden story. If you love discovering hidden treasures and uncovering coin secrets, you're in the right place. We're on a quest to solve the puzzles behind the world's most fascinating coins. From rare errors to legendary rarities, let's dive into the mysteries of numismatics. The 1999 D. Lincoln penny represents a familiar yet meaningful chapter in modern American coinage, reflecting both long-standing tradition and practical adaptation in minting. Struck at the Denver Mint, as indicated by the small D mint mark beneath the date, this coin belongs to the Lincoln Memorial Cent series that dominated circulation from 1959 to 2008. Although often overlooked because of its abundance, the 1999 D cent carries historical, artistic, and material significance that connects everyday commerce with the broader story of the United States. The origins of the Lincoln cent date back to 1909, when the United States Mint placed a real historical figure on a regularly circulating American coin for the first time. The decision to feature Abraham Lincoln honored the 100th anniversary of his birth and marked a departure from the allegorical figures that had previously appeared on American coins. By 1999, Lincoln had been featured on the cent for 90 years, making his portrait one of the most enduring images in U.S. monetary history. The obverse design used on the 1999 D penny was created by sculptor Victor David Brenner, whose profile of Lincoln emphasizes realism, dignity, and quiet strength. Brenner's initials appear subtly on the shoulder of Lincoln's bust, a small detail that once sparked controversy but later became an accepted and celebrated element of the design. The inscriptions on the obverse side reinforce the coin's symbolic meaning. The word liberty appears to the left of Lincoln's profile, representing personal freedom and democratic ideals. Above the portrait is the national motto "In God We Trust," reflecting the spiritual and moral values commonly associated with American identity. The date 1999, along with the Denver Mint mark, identifies the year of production and the facility responsible for striking the coin. Together, these elements combine artistic portraiture with national symbolism, giving the penny a role that extends beyond simple monetary use. The reverse side of the 1999 D. Lincoln penny features the Lincoln Memorial, a design introduced in 1959 to commemorate the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. Designed by Frank Gasparo, the memorial reverse replaced the wheat ears design that had been used since 1909 and introduced a more modern, architectural theme. The image of the memorial is detailed and symmetrical, showing the columns and structure with careful precision. At the center, between the columns, a small seated statue of Lincoln can be seen, making the coin unique in depicting the same individual on both sides. Above the memorial appears United States of America, while E pluribus unum is placed below, reinforcing the concept of unity among the states. The denomination 1 cent is positioned at the bottom, grounding the design in its everyday function. The composition of the 1999 D. Lincoln penny reflects important economic changes in U.S. coinage. Before 1982, most Lincoln cents were made primarily of copper. However, rising copper prices made this composition too expensive to maintain. By 1999, the standard cent was composed of 97.5% zinc with a thin outer plating of 2.5% copper. This copper-plated zinc structure preserved the traditional appearance of the penny while significantly reducing production costs. The coin weighs 2.5 grams and measures 19.05 millimeters in diameter, dimensions that remained consistent despite the change in metal content. This shift illustrates how economic realities influence even the most iconic and long-standing forms of currency. The year 1999 itself carries symbolic significance, representing the final year before the turn of the millennium. As Americans prepared to enter the 21st century, billions of Lincoln cents continued to circulate, quietly linking the nation's past to its future. The Denver Mint produced a large number of these pennies to meet the demands of everyday commerce, making the 1999 D cent one of the more common issues of the series. While it is not considered rare, its widespread circulation highlights the efficiency and scale of the United States Mint during this period. From a numismatic perspective, the 1999 D. Lincoln penny is often collected in uncirculated or mint state condition, where its original luster and sharp details can still be observed. Collectors may examine these coins for strike quality, minor varieties, or as part of a complete date and mint mark set. Although its monetary value is generally modest, its educational and historical value remains significant. It serves as an accessible entry point for new collectors and encourages closer examination of objects that are often taken for granted. In 1999, the United States Mint was operating at a scale never seen before. Billions of pennies were struck to meet the demands of everyday commerce. At the Denver Mint, marked by a small D beneath the date, presses worked around the clock, hammering coin after coin with machine-like precision. Each penny followed a standard design: Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, copper-coated zinc, perfectly weighted. To the casual observer, every 1999 D penny looked identical, mass-produced to be durable and functional. Yet, hidden among millions, one coin quietly distinguished itself, a coin whose subtle differences would make it legendary. For most pennies, their life ended in circulation, gradually losing the sharp details and smooth surfaces that marked their original minting. Scratches, dents, and discoloration are the inevitable fate of everyday coins. But rarity in numismatics is about more than age. It is about survival, condition, and the presence of something extraordinary. Only a handful of 1999 D pennies remained untouched by time, and among those, an even smaller number possessed features that could make them objects of obsession. One coin, in particular, would rise to the top of that exclusive list. Condition alone can turn an ordinary coin into a priceless one. Coins that retain their original luster, sharp edges, and flawless surfaces are highly prized. But true rarity emerges when condition meets uniqueness. Something about the coin sets it apart from every other example. Even in modern minting, errors and anomalies occur. Dies can shift slightly, planchets can misalign, and presses may strike with uneven force. Quality control catches most of these imperfections, but occasionally, a coin slips through unnoticed. And when it does, the result can be extraordinary, a one-of-a-kind rarity that collectors dream of owning. This 1999 D Lincoln penny displayed such a rare combination. Its strike was unusually sharp, with Lincoln's portrait rendered in near-sculptural detail. Every line in his coat, the contour of his face, the fine strands of his beard, all appeared crisp and well-defined. The lettering was flawless, perfectly spaced, and the fields were smooth and reflective, preserving the original mint luster almost perfectly. Under magnification, additional anomalies became apparent. Subtle doubling of letters, tiny irregularities in the mint mark, and faint but distinct surface characteristics suggesting an unusual event during the striking process. Once discovered, the coin underwent professional grading, a painstaking process designed to measure every aspect of its quality. Experts examine weight, metal composition, strike sharpness, surface condition, and microscopic imperfections. Even a single tiny flaw can dramatically affect a coin's value. This penny passed every test with flying colors, earning a grade that placed it at the absolute pinnacle of modern Lincoln cents. Yet it was not the grade alone that made it unique, it was the perfect combination of minting anomalies, flawless preservation, and historical intrigue that elevated it to legendary status. Word of the coin spread slowly at first, whispered among collectors, dealers, and numismatic experts. Some theorized it was a transitional strike, others speculated it was the product of an undocumented die. Private inspections and careful analysis confirmed what many had begun to suspect: this coin was unlike any other. Its rarity, pristine condition, and unique anomalies made it the subject of fascination and desire across the numismatic world. For years, the coin remained in private hands. Its story grew with every new owner, and with each transfer, its reputation and value increased. Skeptics doubted that a penny minted in 1999 could ever rival the historic rarities of American coinage, yet the evidence was overwhelming. Certification, perfect condition, and a singular combination of anomalies had transformed it from an ordinary coin into a once-in-a-generation treasure. Collectors marveled not only at its preservation but at the sheer improbability that such an ordinary object could carry such extraordinary significance. Finally, the coin appeared at a high-profile auction. Under bright lights and sealed in a protective holder, it rested silently on display, every detail visible, every anomaly preserved. The auctioneer carefully described its history, its grading, and the features that set it apart from all other pennies. Bidding began cautiously but quickly escalated. Numbers climbed higher and higher as experts recognized the unparalleled rarity before them. The tension in the room was electric. Gasps followed each bid, anticipation mounting with every increase. The coin, so small and familiar in appearance, had transformed into a symbol of perfection, rarity, and historical importance. When the hammer finally fell, the silence was absolute. That single 1999 D Lincoln penny had sold for $13 million. A coin that once seemed ordinary had been forever transformed into a legend. From a tiny piece of change to one of the most valuable coins in history, it became proof that extraordinary stories often hide in the most unassuming objects. It is a reminder that perfection, rarity, and history can converge in the smallest, most overlooked places, and that sometimes the greatest treasures are hiding in plain sight. If you find this video interesting, then don't forget to like and subscribe for more updates about rare coins.